Good morning, everybody. I decided to take a road trip today, and right now I'm down at the United States Army Museum down in Fort Belvoir. They just opened this up, I think, either last year or the year before. So follow me, I'll take you inside and we'll see what they got in there. I've never been here before, so we'll be seeing it together for the first time. All right, here we are inside. We got a mule here on display. Here's the helmet of Major General Maurice Rose. He was the highest ranking American Jewish Army officer killed in action during World War II. There's a beautiful bullion patch of 442nd Regimental Combat Team. That was the Japanese Americans during World War II that fought for the U.S. Army. And down here we got a Medal of Honor and a Purple Heart. Distinguished Service Crosses. Now we're looking at a Kiowa eagle feather headdress of an Indian. Alaska Territory Guard patch. Now we're going to have to excuse the glare here. They got it kind of dark inside the museum here. This is the Buy Bonds display. Here's the other side of that patriotic dress. Now they say it's a World War I bond drive costume. I don't know if you can read that. But there's a real nice display. American Red Cross. You can see they put some donuts in their hands. It's an original American Red Cross prisoner of war box. Red Cross would send these to the POW camps for the GIs, but most of them never made it there because the Germans would have hoarded them and kept them for themselves. Alright, now we're looking at a World War I Liberty truck. It's got some soldiers there taking off crates of food. You see the one box is a corned beef hash box. He's got a box of bacon. Got corned beef. And here's the truck. Alright, here's a Colt 45 pistol on display, along with a typewriter. Some of you kids are probably saying, what's a typewriter? This is what they used to text each other on paper back in the day. And right here we got an M1 carbine. Rockola M1 carbine, it says. There's the records they used to play. Now we got mess kits. And I'm back over here at the truck again. Did a really good job on these mannequins. All right. Alright, now we're looking at an AN/FPN 40 radar set. There's the schematics on it. Pretty big unit. Here's a 16-inch bayonet used on the Springfield 03 rifles and also on the M1 Garand rifles, First and Second World War. Here we got a plastic experimental canteen that the U.S. Army experimented with in World War II. I believe those were 1942 and 1943 issue. They didn't last too long. And right above us is an R-4B Sikorsky helicopter.
The National Guard experienced one of its darkest moments in 1970 during the anti-Vietnam War protests at Kent State University. In the summer, the Guardsmen fired upon the crowd, killing 4.
There's a little diorama of the Panama Canal. Here's a coat from the CCC, which will be the Civilian Conservation Corps. There's a hat and a book. There's some models of the space program. I remember watching these when I was a kid in the 60s when they was pretty active. Now we got a model of the Wright brothers in their airplane. Alright, now I'm into the Civil War section.
Before dawn on 12 April 1861, Federal artillerymen began bombarding Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor, South Carolina. Americans were firing at the Americans.
Here's a captain in the 2nd U.S. Cavalry. Can't see too well because of the glare.
But Northerners objected to the slow pace of the battle.
Got his red sash on, or new saber. Yeah, we got a model 1850 foot officer sword. Like a pretty sword. Engraving on the blade.
Next day, Grant pushed back, forcing the Confederates to retreat, opening the way for the Union invasion of Greece.
And here's the rifles on display. Got some sabers and some pistols also. There's some of the cannonballs. There's some equipment they use, but I really can't show it because the exhibits are too dark. Hardly any light on them. But I'll show you what I can.
Point out one thing here which everybody misses because it's in the dark. See this? 2 triggers.
Okay.
Why does it have 2 triggers?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's single barrel. It's actually a sniper rifle.
Really?
The back trigger is a set trigger. So if you're a sniper, you don't want to be pulling hard and
Okay.
the barrel doing anything. So at that point, the front take trigger is a hair trigger.
All right.
So you probably heard that back in the day, oh, he's got he's off on a hair trigger, he's got a hair trigger. That's the front trigger. So they do the set trigger and then the
All
hair
right.
trigger.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just got a little education on this rifle. Hope you could hear the lady okay. Now we got a hat and a jacket of the United States Colored Troops. Now we're getting into the surgical kits. This saw here they would use to saw off limbs such as your arm or leg. And back in them days there was no anesthesia. So it was very extremely painful if you got wounded. There's a little cane. And now we got a drum, a bugle, a fife, canteen, haversack, and a big flag. There's a telegraph key and sounder. Okay, now we're looking at a shovel on the left, and there's a broad axe. Officer's forage cap.
Finally, in mid-June 1864, Grant crossed the James River, reportedly back into
It's a
fortifications around Petersburg.
drafting set.
Final siege was on. It would last until April 1865. Partly the southern economy, its supply lines, its ability to fight. Inside the city, Sherman defeated him 3 times.
Corporal, 2nd New Jersey Infantry uniform.
Then Sherman began the offensive that would make him famous in the north, infamous in the south. I can make Georgia howl, he said. He abandoned his supply line.
All right, here's the flag that was carried by the 12th Infantry
Confederate General Joe Johnston
during the Civil War.
near Bentonville, North Carolina. When Johnston retreated, the last chance for the South was gone. In early April, the Confederates evacuated Richmond. If the thing is pressed, I think we will surrender, General Philip Sheridan wrote to Grant. On the 9th of April, 1865, we could just go home.
All right, now what we're looking at is a pattern 1858 officer's hat.
Two great generals of North and South saluted each other.
Here's a piece of wood with a mini ball stuck in it. There's an 1860 Henry rifle in .44 caliber. And here we got Major General William T. Sherman's hat. And in here we're looking at a model 1840 cavalry saber and a Spencer carbine and cartridge boxes. Here we got a Confederate sword, officer sword. I'll show you this cannon again. Get a little close up of the guys. They're getting ready to make some noise.
Richmond fell at last.
All right, now we're looking at the Buffalo Soldiers.
Moving its forces to fewer and larger installations based on the needs of national defense.
But not this guy.
Closed by treaties or
He's
simply
a sergeant in the 9th U.S. Cavalry Regiment.
few like Forts Leavenworth, Sill,
That's what the son. No, that's Corporal, 4th Infantry Regiment. Sorry, reading the wrong sign.
Training and readiness.
Now we're coming into the World War I section. Here's a German 08/15 machine gun. Got their steel helmet. And this here is the model 1914 Hotchkiss machine gun, French. Some of the barbed wire and wire cutters, hand grenades, British Lewis machine gun, very popular during World War I. Trench fighting knives. Now we got the model 1917 Colt revolver at 45 caliber. Colt 45 with the belt, holster, 2 magazines, French helmet. Here we got uniforms on display, boots, things that light up the trenches at night, some lighters, sewing kit, foot powder, shaving kit, helmet. We got a mess kit, some condiment cans. I said condiment, not condoms now. Get your minds out of the gutter. Nice display of all the gas masks. This here was a wooden gas alarm. It would hold the handle there, right here, and they would spin it around, and this part here would go against the metal, or excuse me, the wood, and just make a clanking noise. And when they heard that, they had to put their gas mask on. US, and this one here is probably French. Yeah, French M2. More guns on display. And this is laid out really nice. Here's the what the soldiers would have wore during battle. This here's the gas mask, which would have been worn on the front of them. Got their cartridge belt, canteens, first aid kit, their backpack. The top pouch there would be for their mess kits, and they would have a shovel there, wrapped up with a blanket or a shelter hoof. Some more helmets on display along with the uniforms. Really nice helmet there. Alright, get ready for this. This is going to be really nice. Really nice diorama of the troops advancing in the field. And then in the background they got their movies they're showing.
Whether a man makes it through or not, it's just sheer chance.
This is pretty incredible. Got a machine gunner down there in the hole. Down here we got a knocked out cannon.
The time for rest is ended.
Troops are on the move.
Though still weary, we press back.
I'll try this again. I got pretty dark in here all of a sudden. Switching movies. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this museum so far. Now here we got the water-cooled 30 caliber machine gun. And notice the hose on the front of the barrel, which goes to the water can to help cool the barrel down. And now we got the Renault FT-17 light tank that was used during World War I. Here's the front of the tank. Real small barrel. I think it was a 37 millimeter. And here's the captain.
I was spellbound by the fact that here I was, actually.
I'm gonna try this again. The lights went low again. Had to stop it. Here's the captain.
As I came to learn more about the way the war was fought, I began to
Pretty cool
doubt
just
my
to stand in here and watch the movie.
mistakes. Suddenly I heard a terrific explosion. I thought the whole world was coming to an end.
Nice mock-up of the trenches. Sandbags, wood everywhere. Got ammo boxes laying around. See up there they got the movies showing. Looks like the bombed out buildings when you're walking through. Okay, now we got the pigeons here, and this here was what they used to send messages. You can see these little capsules right here. They would write a message on the paper and put it in a capsule, and then they would tie it to the pigeon's leg, and he would fly off and deliver the message, hopefully without being killed. All this stuff's pertaining to messages. Now we got, see that horse there sticking his head through. He's got a gas mask on. Four-star general flag. Really nice uniforms. Got binoculars. Alright, now we're showing you some medical displays. Got the stretcher there and it said that was the tomb of the unknown soldier. I'll get this close and go down real slow so you can read it if you want to. Alright, now we're moving into my section. This here's the World War II section. You can see all the B-17 models on top, flying in formation, getting ready to hit a big target. One of the docents said, told me that this particular Sherman here tank was actually used in the Battle of the Bulge. Alright, here's the plaque on that. It's a Cobra King, Company C, 37th Tank Battalion, 4th Armored Division. And this This is pretty cool here. They got snow on it, so it looks like it's during the Battle of the Bulge. See the 50 caliber machine gun on top of the turret. Alright, here's another really cool diorama. It's soldiers manning the Bofors 40mm anti-aircraft gun. Alright, here's a little information about the M1 Bofors gun used for anti-tanks, or excuse me, anti-aircraft. Now this here is really impressive. You got soldiers coming down the rope to go in the landing craft. Yep, this is very impressive. Now here we have a uniform of an lieutenant from the 82nd Airborne. There you can see the 82nd Airborne patch. That's double A, which means All-American. Now they got a big globe here explaining what happened during the war. And on this side they got a little movie playing.
Uncovering shocking evidence of the Nazis' atrocities.
Now I'm getting ready to show you the uniform of a WAC. Lieutenant Colonel Iona Sherman. Please disregard that last one. They got the sign down but no uniform. This is a technical 3rd grade. Ports of embarkation. Female soldier. There you can see the port of embarkation patch. Got her ribbons on. Now we got a private in the 10th Mountain Division. Notice he's got a BAR, Browning automatic rifle he's carrying. And there's the pack that went to war. Got a sleeping bag, a box with, I guess, chow in it, or whatever they carried on them. Alright, here's a private from the Alamo Scouts. Here we got a chained SS dagger, political little armband, German helmet, Japanese helmet, flag, some samurai swords, some nice uniforms. Here we got an Afrika Korps pith helmet, Afrika Korps cuff title, and this flag here would have been sewn on to the U.S. Army soldier's sleeve. Some equipment they would have worn in World War II. Captured German MP-40, a German S-mine, and this here's a German glass mine. They made them out of glass so they wouldn't be able to find them by a metal detector. They would, as soon as they would step on that, the sticks would break and their foot would hit the detonator and it would explode. Here we got a medic's armband, a medic's helmet, and this here would have been carried by a medic. You can see the two medic pouches, one there and one there. That's called a musette bag, and that there's a gas mask. Here's the BAR, got a Thompson, a German MP-42 machine gun, K98 rifle, German, and a P-38 pistol. There's Battle of the Bulge display. We got a paratrooper helmet, garrison cap, radio equipment. There's a switchboard there. Can't see it too well. It's got the bazooka up there with a round and captured German machine gun. Alright, now we got Hermann Goring's sword here. Reproduction, of course. Yeah, it's an American, what they call the grease gun, 45 caliber, issued mostly to like the tanks. Here's a fragment of the Ludendorff Bridge. Alright, got a little better lighting here now, so what we got here is beach obstacles that the Germans would put on the beach so the Americans would have a hard time landing. This is a tetrahedron obstacle. There's a helmet, and there's maps. Here's a General Eisenhower D-Day letter gave out to all the troops. Now this one here is called a Belgian Gate obstacle. It was very heavy and very big. They would have had a very hard time trying to get past that. And then here we go. Invasion belt, that was a like a foot around your waist so you wouldn't drown. And we got an M1 Garand, some TNT, and the sign on this one says it's a Czech Hedgehog. These were scattered all over the invasion beaches. And you can see in the back all the ammo crates. There's a rope ladder with just nothing but helmets on it. Pair of headphones, and got a Type B1 flying hat. Pilot sunglasses. Here we got a Japanese general's officer sword. There's a nurse's hat and her ID card.
After a second atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, Japan announced its surrender. On September
There's a
2nd,
suicide boat helmet.
aboard the
Japanese.
USS Missouri, Japanese envoys finally
And they got the
surrendered to the Allies,
meatball flag
bringing World War II
signed.
to an end.
And here we got a Japanese sword up there on top. And this here was called a 1,000-stitch belt. Able to wear these to ward off any evil and to help them make it home.
With a US
Japanese
Army,
rifle with
World
a
War II
bayonet
began
on
in the Asiatic Pacific Theater,
A
starting
bamboo
with the
pistol.
Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor,
And of course, the Japanese heavy machine gun.
After the courageous but hopeless defense of the Philippines by US
And here we got a Japanese helmet with a bullet hole in it.
Soldiers laid out a dog's
There's a really nice leather jacket. It's got the China Burma India Theater patch on it. And then on the back of it here, it's called a blood chit. Pilots would put these on the back of their jacket in case they were shot down, and then it would help them identify as them being an American pilot. Real nice bullion China Burma India Theater patch. Here's a Type A2 flying jacket. The B7 goggles on it. And here's a box of rations. There's a cup that they put a drink out of. This here's a waterproof food bag. Put your food in there and wrap it up. Keep it from getting wet. And on top there we got some combat equipment that the GIs would have used. Backpack. Here we got another Browning 30 caliber water-cooled machine gun. And we got an M2 portable flamethrower here. And here's a bazooka. A little machete here when they're in the jungles. There's a one-piece jungle suit, a pair of coveralls. Then they would have used these tropical boots in the jungle. Rubber on the bottom and canvas on the side and top. There we got some different kinds of helmets. You can see this one here's got a bullet hole in it. Here's the hat of General Douglas MacArthur. I don't know if this is an original or not. Looks really nice. There's a life vest. A lot of pilots wore those and wore those during invasions. Okay, this fragment of the regimental colors was found in Corregidor Island in the Philippines after the Army recaptured the island in 1945. This piece of American flag that flew over Army Hickam Field on Oahu. This was damaged during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Okay, here's a crew member. He's a sergeant on the 8th Air Force, and this is what they would have used as a bomber crew. See the flak helmet, parachute, and right there is an oxygen bottle. That would give them a couple minutes of oxygen as they was falling to the ground if they had to bail out. There's a captain of the 5th Air Force. There's a jerry can. That's what they would have carried gas in. Recognition models. And there's a collection of the wings. There's a tanker helmet, what the tank crews would have wore. There's an early war Holley helmet liner. These were made out of like a fiber content. And here's a cutaway of a rifle grenade. M1 carbine on top, M1 Garand on the bottom. Got your field rations. Alright, here's a walkie-talkie. And here's the backpack radio. And some more of the models on top going on their bomber mission. All B-17s. Alright, now we're coming into the Korean War and the Vietnam era war section. Up there you can see the Huey helicopter. We got a MBG pair with a 50 caliber machine gun mounted on it in the Korean War section. Here's a little read on the Jeep. Put her on pause if you want to read it. Yeah, we're getting into some Chinese stuff here. It's jacket. Excuse me, it's North Korean jacket. Winter coat, same thing. There's a bugle, Chinese infantry bugle. Can't show you everything because it's too much of a glare. I'll just point out good stuff here. Another bazooka. There's the round of what he used. Some uniforms from the Korean War, United States. Here's a really cool diorama of a MASH unit.
Communist powers divided up newly liberated territory. Was divided along the 13th parallel. U.S. forces occupied the south. Soviet forces occupied the north.
Look closely, you might be able to see the swamp.
America's army had demobilized, adjusting to a smaller quantity of men and material. By 1949, U.S. forces had withdrawn from South Korea. But on June 25th, 1950,
This is
the
really cool.
situation erupted.
A highly trained and well-equipped North Korean army swarmed across the 30th parallel to attack unprepared South Korean defenders. Caught off guard, they were all but overwhelmed until the United Nations took its historic vote to intervene. The Security Council voted overwhelmingly in favor of armed intervention to protect the Korean Republic. It was the first fully sanctioned against an aggressor by the Parliament of Nations.
And then radar would holler choppers.
Early days of UN action, General MacArthur's forces, under the command of Lieutenant General Walter Watson,
There we got the quad 50s. These would be mounted on the half tracks in the back. You would have 450 caliber machine guns on here.
Yeah, that's
while armed Navy and Marine forces made an amphibious landing at the port of Incheon. The 8th Army broke out from Busan, Korea.
Now up top there we got a couple missiles.
Chinese soldiers.
Here we got an M1 carbine with a night scope on it.
The Chinese had entered the
And
war.
they're showing a movie about the Korean War.
The Chinese Red Army, numbering hundreds of thousands, swarmed over the frontier against forced into the
And we got a backpack radio there.
The Allies gained ground slowly, marching through temperatures that sometimes seemed
Got a snow camouflage jacket. And then rubber boots. Cold weather gear, mittens.
Forces hung on to capturing territory in South Korea.
They say it was really brutal cold over there in Korea in the winter. Now we're into the Vietnam section. Here's the stuff on the POWs. Here's a POW uniform that the Americans would have wore when it was in captivity. AK-47, little hand grenade there. There's a Green Beret uniform from a captain. There's a helmet from some general. And a flak jacket. Some of the gear. Here's all the gear infantry soldier would have wore. There's the MREs they had in Vietnam. Hand grenades. Claymore mine. Radio. On top there they got what's called a LAW, which stands for Light Anti-Tank Weapon. This would fold up and had one disposable round in it. And this here shoots grenades. Their M16, M60. Some patches and some Zippo lighters. Alright, now I'm getting ready to walk underneath the Huey helicopter. There's an Army nurse. She's a lieutenant from the 3rd Surgical Hospital.
down here, 18th Engineer Brigade.
So your patch up close here. Thank God for the nurses. Here's an engineer. He's from the 18th Engineer Brigade. There's a corporal in the 9th Infantry Division. Got all his gear on. He's lugging around an M60 machine gun. Imagine wearing all that heavy gear in Vietnam weather. 120 degrees plus all the humidity. Some more of the missiles up there. There's a private first class from the Berlin Brigade. There you can see the Berlin patch. There's an M14 rifle on top and an M16 on the bottom. The bayonets to go with them. There's a piece of the Berlin Wall. Freiheit, peace. Tear down this wall.
In August
There's some
1990,
nice models in here.
Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait over oil interests. He then defied UN sanctions to withdraw his troops.
Now we got a tank that was used in the Kuwait Desert Storm.
Iraq will not be permitted to annex Kuwait. And that's not a threat. The votes, that's the way
Here's a really damaged engine from a Black Hawk. There's some items from 9/11 attack. Now they're showing a little movie about the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center.
Is that this is the work of terrorists. The aircraft penetrated all the way into the
There's a Taliban motorcycle.
9/11 changed everything. Suddenly, the U.S. Army found itself fighting.
See how close I can get in here. Too dark in there, I can't see it. And on the inside.
They would put their weapons,
some different helmets.
and the Army's revised doctrine to the test.
Aviator's helmet.
In August
Iraq
1990,
ballistic helmet.
Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait over
Combat
oil
vehicle
interests.
crewman
He then defied
helmet.
UN sanctions to withdraw his troops.
And an
As a
Iraq
consequence,
Army combat
Allied forces from the
vehicle
US
crewman's
and
helmet.
other nations began
And that's an
deploying to
Iraqi
Saudi
bayonet.
Arabia to defend ports and airfields in operation.
Now I didn't know this, but we're up in the upstairs on the 3rd floor right now, and what we're looking at is a Nisei display. Now this uniform here belonged to PFC Arthur Awazaki. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but Japanese Americans that served in the U.S. Army during World War II. There's his helmet, patches. This bag's really cool. It's a lot of signatures on it. and also where they've been. ID card from one of them. Zoom this in a little. There's the Medal of Honor from one of them. And that's a POW medal. Dog tag. There's a Western Union telegram. Informing the parents that he's been captured and is now a POW. Get a close-up of the patches on his uniform here. Texas Division. Probably botched up that name, but there's the name. Well, that's going to be the end of the tour for this museum. I highly recommend coming to this one. I was real surprised. Got a lot of nice stuff in here on display. As you can see through my video. See behind me, it's what it looks like. Now we're going to head down to the Marine Corps Museum, which is probably 15 minutes down the road, and do another video of the Marine Corps Museum. So we'll see you on the next video. Hope you enjoyed it.